Welcome back. A legendary skateboarder is unrecognizable and Dak Prescott signs a massive new deal. That's right, it's time for Hot Topics. Yes, special guest Randy Wilburn still on the show as well. Now, Randy, check this out. I don't know if you're following legendary skateboarder Tony Hawk on Twitter, but everyone should be. Hawk often tweets about people not recognizing him in public, and the result is often comic gold. In a recent interview, Hawk explains that this is a regular occurrence for him. In fact, Tony hit a skate park recently and tweeted about it yesterday. A tweet from that encounter reads, "Kid at skate park as I arrive. You a good skater? Me. Sometimes. Him. You ever been here? Me. No. Him. You travel a lot? Yes, perhaps too much. Him. Are you a YouTuber? No, I'm just a skater and a dad. Him. Want to see me do a jump? Me. Absolutely." And then he took a picture and posted it on Twitter. Randy, I love how Tony takes it in stride, but there is kind of something here about the fade of popularity that's a possible reminder that nothing lasts forever, right? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I agree. And, it's one of those things where, fame is fleeting. That's why they say that. And I think that a lot of times we think we want it so badly, but once we get it, it's like you don't want it. You want to give it away. And you can ask Meghan Markle. You can ask so many different individuals that struggle with it. And the paparazzi is very unforgiving in our country. And just to add to that Tony Hawk story, he told a story once about taking his kids somewhere, and they were filling out something with a woman at a front desk, and they were like, he was writing his name, Tony Hawk, and the woman was like, "Oh yeah, like the skater," and he just kind of laughed and said, "Yeah, like the skater," because she didn't recognize him. So having his accomplishments and that anonymity is huge.
Yeah.
But most people are not fortunate to have that.
That's absolutely true. Yeah. Follow him on Twitter if you're not doing it already, folks. Hey, the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott have finally agreed on the richest contract in club history. 2 years after negotiations first started with the star quarterback, the team said the agreement was reached on Monday. It's a $160 million 4-year contract with $126 million guaranteed and an NFL record $66 million signing bonus, according to a person with knowledge of the deal, which comes a day before the deadline to put the franchise tag on Prescott for a second straight year at a salary cap charge of $37.7 million. The new contract will lower that cap hit. Man, we're talking about millions of dollars here. Randy, are you a sports fan, and what do you think of this deal?
Oh, absolutely, and I'm happy. I'm a Steeler fan. I'm black and gold to the day I die, but I can respect the Dallas Cowboys. I'm happy that they finally gave Dak his money. Something to think about here. In the same amount of time in the NFL up to this period, the number of years that Dak's been in here, he's had, at the same time, if you compare him to Peyton Manning, he's had more touchdowns thrown, more yards, higher passer rating, and fewer interceptions by almost 40. And so I think Dak is getting the money that he deserves.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I'm glad to see it happen. Hey, Mardi Gras celebrations along the Gulf Coast were all but a bust this year because of the coronavirus pandemic. But the city of Mobile is considering staging a carnival-style parade through downtown in May after the state's mandatory face mask rule expires. News outlets report that Mayor Sandy Stimson discussed the possibility with city council members. The event would be held May 21st to coincide with the commissioning of the USS Mobile, a Navy ship built in the city. Officials say the pandemic will still have to be taken into account. Randy, we're all anxious to gather again. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's so funny because I have a family friend that was from Mobile, and she used to always tell me, Randy, the original Mardi Gras started in Mobile. So I'm excited that people are getting back to some sense of normalcy. I know down in the Southland area that they're going to be getting back to some regular activities and some regular events. So Fort Smith is doing some things in the near future. I think there's a huge gathering that's going to be taking place, and the name escapes me right now. But so things are starting to get back to normal, but I'm still telling people, and I know that I am personally, I'm still masking up until I get this shot. And once I get the shot, I'll feel a lot better at that point in time. But I'm just telling people that, if you've made it this far without getting the virus, just take the few extra steps that it's going to take and the precautions to continue to protect yourself and your family. It's well worth it. I've lost friends because of this pandemic, so
yeah. Yeah, that's wise words there, Randy. I'm in the same boat as you on that one. I gotta let our viewers know about one final story here. The Turner Classic Movie Festival is going to be even more accessible for film fans this year. TCM said yesterday that its 12th installment will run on its cable channel and the HBO Max streaming service. The festival begins May 6th with a 60th anniversary screening of West Side Story, which you see here, with some new interviews from some of the film's stars. And over the 4 days, there will be tributes to people like Danny Glover and Ally McGraw, and new introductions to films from directors like Rob Reiner and Mira Nair. Randy, real quick, before I let you go, do you have a favorite classic movie?
Oh, absolutely. Rear Window and The Man Who Knew Too Much. I am a huge Hitchcock fan, but The Man Who Knew Too Much was amazing. I was just one of my favorite movies, and I love Que Sera, Sera.
Yeah, for sure. Randy, thank you so much for joining us and hanging out with me so much here on the show. We really appreciate you. Always great to have you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jason. And we miss you, Jacqueline. I appreciate you guys having me on the show.
You got it. Absolutely. Check out his podcast, I Am Northwest Arkansas.